Today, Anthony Robinson was exonerated for murder he always said he did not commit. In fact, he wasn't physically able to.
CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey joins us live with a look at the evidence. Megan.
Right, Jim and Erica, new medical records changed everything. They actually came in the form of old medical records that were never presented in court. And today the judge said that if they had been, it would have been a very solid defense. Surveillance video from the January 2013 murder in front of a Bronzeville housing complex shows the victim and shooter running into frame. After shots are fired, the shooter turns around and sprints back in the opposite direction. Because of this video and the recanted testimony of a witness, 20-year-old Anthony Robinson was sentenced to 55 years in prison. But according to his 2013 x-rays that were never entered as evidence, it couldn't have been him because it was impossible for Robinson to run at the time. Robinson had recently been shot in both of his legs, shattering his tibia and fibula on his left leg. A medical expert who recently reviewed the record said it was physically impossible for him to be the sprinting shooter in the video.
Well, I knew coming today that the judge was going to make a good decision, a better decision for him.
And today in court, Robinson's lawyer argued that his previous attorney didn't do his job. The judge agreed, saying it was a viable defense and it should have been presented. He vacated the conviction and Robinson will be released tonight. We'll have more details on how this all unfolded coming up on CBS 2 News at 6.
All right, Megan, thank you.
Yeah. Y'all know what time it is, man. Another one in. My dog finally touched the main handler, my boy, be greasy. What's up, brother? My boy back. Look at him, check him out. Yes, sir. Greasy for sure. Greasy, gonna get your fit, Ike.
Welcome to Global Trap. Let's get into some breaking news about THFBA, who has spent more than a decade behind bars for murder and has now been set free today, after he was exonerated by medical evidence that proved it was physically impossible for him to have been the shooter. It looks like THF Bayzoo was there to welcome him home. At a recent hearing, attorneys for Anthony Robinson said the medical records were never presented in court, and Cook County Judge James Abish, the same judge who convicted Robinson at a bench trial in 2014, said if they had been, it would have been a very solid defense. I knew coming into today that the judge was going to make a good decision, a better decision for him, said Robinson's aunt, Patricia Robinson. Surveillance video from the January 2013 shooting death of Kelvin Jemison in front of a Bronzeville housing complex showed Jemison and his shooter running through the frame. After shots were fired, the shooter turned around and sprinted back in the opposite direction. Based on that video, and the since recanted testimony of a witness, Robinson was convicted and sentenced to 55 years in prison. But according to 2013 x-rays that were never entered into evidence at his trial, Robinson couldn't have been the gunman because it was impossible for him to run at the time. Robinson had recently been shot in both of his legs, shattering his tibia and fibula on his left leg. A medical expert who recently reviewed the record said it was physically impossible for him to be the sprinting shooter in the video. At today's hearing, Anthony Robinson's lawyer argued that his previous attorney didn't do his job at his trial by failing to present that evidence. The judge agreed, saying it was a viable defense that should have been presented. Cook County prosecutors agreed to vacate Robinson's conviction and drop all charges against him. Robinson was released from custody later in the day. Like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this.